Hi, welcome back to the Blackbird Shed. Just going to do a quick update on where we are for the season 2022. Just taken a few birds away. I feel that I'm down to my final 7 cockbirds and 7 hens. We've got a few more additions in the foreign finch as well. And well, let's just get on with it and show you around. Right. Okay, so first thing is we have the 4 hen golden finches in here. That's the new one up there. So she's now out of quarantine. She's a blackhead, purple breasted. We have the redhead lilac breasted, which is last year's mother. This another blackhead, purple breasted, and a white breasted blackhead. The cockbirds, we've now introduced the new one. There it is. He's the blackhead, purple breasted. That's last year's father, orange head. Nearly finished his molt. This white breasted redhead, and another orange headed, purple breasted cock which I've brought in. The other 2 birds, which are both red-headed lilac breasted, are going to be going. There's one nearly out of the molt, and there's ones at the back. So those are the 2 to go. That will give us the 4 pairs, which we'll be setting up in this cage, the one below, this cage, and the one below, and then they'll have access to the middle cage, so I can get the babies to go out into the flight, and either this pair or that pair will have access to the flight when I'm ready. In here we've got 7 cock canaries. So there is 3 Irish. We've got the green one there and the yellow one, and this yellow variegated in the middle there. The others are all variegated, apart from that one at the back, which is partially sort of cinnamon yellow. I'm not quite sure what you call that, but none of them are clear. They will be going in with the hens that are in here. That's the only one that's not fully variegated. That one, that's variegated with some yellow on its chest. There's the mother of most of the red factors from last year. And we have that, I think what you call a Feo, the brown one up there, and there's another one in there as well. There it is, the sort of cinnamon grey. So, and then Irish, we've got the grey one up there, which is last year's mother. And we have this one here, which is a grey and white one. And then there's that new yellow one in there as well. Oh, it should be in there, but it's been out in the flight for the first time. There it is, up there. It's managed to find its way back in. And the rest of the birds in there are the 2 Borks, the silver bills. Well, there's the Weaver finch cock, the Sudan golden finch cock, some of the Bengalese babies. Right, so now I've moved the 3 parent reared and the 1 foster reared starfinches, and they're now in this cage with this starfinch I got a couple of weeks back. That's a cock there, yellow face. These are red face, obviously. So just put them in there with him, and the one is obviously the one that's the foster reared is the one with the white ring, that was nearest her. Squabbling a bit with the others because that's they're his brothers and sisters, but he's never met them before, so he's just settling in with them. 2 hen birds which I've kept here. They've been feather plucked. There's the one that nearly died, which is got its head's going to be like that all the time. I'm keeping them as spare hens just in case I lose a hen, and I can use them as fostering. So the fostered starfinch has come out of this nest, out of this cage now, and we just have the Bengalese sitting on a baby. Now that bird hatched on the 3rd, so it's the Bengalese. I believe it's a cutthroat baby. It hatched on the 3rd. Today is the 7th, so it's 4 days old. I haven't looked at it today, but all the other 2 days, or the other 2 times I've looked, it's been pretty healthy. Because I've disturbed them when I took the young out, I'm not going to. If I've got a picture, I'll show you. I've got a photograph previously, so I'll show you that. Yeah, he's got to boss them around a little bit, so hopefully they'll be okay with him. See, they don't recognise him as a parent. We'll see how they get on. Can always put a partition in if it looks a bit like they're getting a bit rough. Down here now we have these cages both clear. I've got to strip those down. I've got no more time to do that today. I'll strip those down and they'll be cleaned out, deep clean and repainted, and they'll be ready for the Canaries next season. These will be moved out obviously shortly, or when they're quite settled in, you know, without their parents. These 2 hens will go in with the other hens, and the Bengalese will move to a separate cage at some point, but at the moment we'll leave them up there. It's going to be, I'm going to start my season April 1st, or early April. So as long as I've got that cleaned out, these 2 cages down here cleaned out, and I'm going to separate this big cage back into the 2 cages. Then I'll have the 4 cages there for the larger coloured canaries, and then these 3 for the Irish. Now obviously in here we have the mixture of finches, and the mannequins, they're on 2 eggs. Now as far as I know, they're fertile. There's one of the birds, and we're gonna have a look. So if I just do this, whoever's on will probably just pop off. There you go. So what we're going to do now is have a quick look and just see if anything's happened, because they are due around about today. Okay, so still nothing at the moment. There's some dummy eggs in there, but see that one there? Looks like it's got something in. There's a dummy egg over there. There's got something in. So I believe there's 2 eggs that are possibly fertile. I've not had any young off them before, so I'm not going to count my, you know, I'm going to count my chicks and all that before they hatch, but fingers crossed on that they do hatch, and that they're very attentive to the eggs. So they're going back on again now. They're just there, back on the nest, ready to go. And there she is. And she's looking at me. But they'll pop back on that nest now. So hopefully if they do hatch, then they'll be attentive parents. Whether I put a partition in to partition away from the cutthroats, I don't know. But yeah, these they are breeding, hence the eggs I've got, or hence the chick we've got in that. She's being fostered by the Bengalese, and we're getting eggs in here as well. Now what I'm trying to do is mark the eggs as they appear, so I've got some idea of which ones are laid when, so that I can then put them into the fosters up there. Right, okay, so we've got obviously, because I've just taken some birds away, I always very tempted to buy some more. So I've got some birds I've never had before, but let's show you what we've got. Well, we've got a dark silverbill there. It's a chocolate. It's got very dark wings, so I just thought it was a little bit different to what I've got. So I've got that. Just a bit extra, a bit of new blood, and you can see I've got some owl finches, and they're the first time I've had those. Now, I think the cock is on the right. Look, he's got a much more defined chin ring, and it has got a silver ring on it, so on its leg. So that's how we're going to identify it going forward. And the guy at the pet shop was pretty certain that was a cock, but I'm going to put those in probably into this cage setup with the with the African silverbills, and I'm just going to let them do what they want to do. Really, I'm not going to try and have a breeding project with that one at all. That pair. See how they do, and if they're definitely a pair and I can see them nesting, then we'll think about setting up their own little nest at a later date. But for the moment, we'll just leave it as it is. So that's oh yeah, the pair down here, they have got some more eggs. Now they had 4 eggs previously in a video 2 weeks ago, but they just stopped sitting on them. So they have laid more eggs since. I've took those eggs out. I think the young, we're putting them off, they were still around. Okay, we've got 5 eggs in there now, and I think it's been 1 a day, so I think those. So yeah, we'll just see how they go. They weren't all fertile at the last 5 that was laid, so we'll see. I'm just going to leave them be now. We have disturbed them quite a bit getting the young out. It's because it's a low cage, it's quite hard for me to catch the young, so it's not ideal. Perhaps next time round I'll move them. Well, I suppose down there they're quite private for them, but unfortunately it's hard for me to catch the young. But once I move these quails across, I should be able to separate the young easier. You can see the mannequin there is having a bath. Anyway, so thanks very much for watching. I'll try and get another update perhaps in a couple of weeks. Basically we'll see what we're going to be doing with these. We will be cleaning out these cages. I won't bore you with the cleaning, but perhaps I'll show you them cleaned out. The cage which we've up here has done really well. The idea of having the perches in the middle is to keep the muck from off the sides, and it's done a good job. Not a lot of muck on the walls, and not as much as what I was getting on the sides. It's just the odd little bit here and there, you know, but nowhere near prolific, so that's great. Just still worried about the weather as to let them all out, you know, let them out in the evenings yet. Obviously these canaries would be fine. We're still getting a few cold spells, so if I had a bit more, well, I've got a week off coming. Yeah, I've got a week off next from the 14th. So if I've got, I might leave them out that night. So if I know that the day after is going to be warm, or it's going to be a warm night, looking at the weather reports, I might leave them out, and because I know that the day after I can get them in because I'm not working, and I can get them in any time during the day, and I can monitor it a bit more. When I've got to be in the morning, feed them, and then I'm not going to get back from work till late, and it's going to be dark, I'm not going to get the birds in, I'm not going to take the risk. But when I know that I'm here around about 4 o'clock, 4:30 every night, I can make the judgment call per day then, and we'll get them back in again. I do normally leave them out. This year's the first time I've been keeping them in, and it's done quite well. I've started a little bit of work on the lower cages. Basically I've took out the mesh that we had on the side here, and a little bit of quadrant from the side there, and I started looking at how we're going to start getting the base in. So I took a little bit off there. This has got to be built across here, and then I've got to work out the base part of it, like I got over here. That's going to have to be strong because I'm going to have to get in there. I'm actually going to have to sit in there or stand in there when I'm doing the work underneath here. And this isn't going to be one big cage. This is going to be two separate levels, so a bit like this here. So I do need to get in there and really do some proper good work underneath here and fill the cracks in and do a really good job of it. Perhaps even put the the bits in for the shell, the partitions to go in. And before I even put the shelf in, and then when the shelf's in, then also put the partition at the bottom to match the one at the top. Put the partition underneath the tray at the shelf to match the bottom. You know, so it's quite a lot of work to be done, and I'll just be pottering on with it. I won't do a video on this one, but I'll just keep you up to date on it as and when there's any changes, really. But hopefully by midsummer I would have got that done. So we'll have here 2 separate cage fronts, maybe 2 partitions, so that I can partition that, so this one becomes a longer cage that way. But whatever will happen is they'll have access all the way along here and through into here, and that will have definitely 2 separate cages we can have here. Obviously a smaller one and then a bigger one that will go into the dark there. Got to fit the LEDs as well to create light in there. But we've also got the window there. We've got to sort that out again with a bit of perspex like we did on the other one. Down here, this is going to be the quails. Both these quails will be moving over there. I've got to put a partition in, but you know, it hasn't got to be designed quite the same as above. It's purely going to be for ground birds, and you know, I might get a pair of quails, you know, cock and hen. We'll see going forward. Again, LEDs have got to go under there because that's going to be very dark. There is no window for that one. And then we'll better use these 2 cages at the front then for finches, or canaries, or for young. So it's quite hard to get into them because they're so low. So they work good, but they don't work very good when I'm trying to remove birds. Anyway, so that's the final update from today, and I'll touch base with you again in a couple of weeks hopefully. So thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and keep smiling. Cheers.